Welcome everybody to VibePro. My name is Tom Honig. I'm going to be walking you through a tutorial. VibePro is now sunsetting VibePro 7. So what does that mean to all the VibePro 7 users out there? Well, we just released VibePro 10, which was an upgrade to 8. So if you were on VibePro 8 and been using it, it's not a problem. An upgrade to 10 will be seamless, just more features for you, no physical changes in usage. But for VibePro 7 users, there are some major differences, and I'm going to be going through that in the tutorial. Now, people with data in VibePro 7 and the VibePro 7 web app, there is no worry there either. We have the tools here at B&D Industrial/VibePro to convert your databases over to VibePro 10 from VibePro 7. This is mostly going to be a screencast, so I'm going to be walking you through every button press so that you will understand the major differences between 7 and 10 and exactly how to navigate that as we go through. So with no further ado, I'm going to click right into the screencast, and the first thing that you're going to notice here is we've got VibePro 7 here on the top and VibePro 10 on the bottom. The usage screens are almost identical. Single measurement mode, hierarchy measurement, and your viewer. The only differences here in 10, you'll notice you've got an advanced viewer here, which we'll get into. But other than that, everything is in its same place and very, very easy to use. And we've made it super easy to deal with. So let's jump into VibePro 7 to start right here. We'll click in, and as usual, this is our main screen. I do have a shaker going, so I'm going to enter into the single measurement mode right over here. Clicking on that, you'll see you've got a spectrum and a setup screen. It's going to be a little different in 10, and we'll get to that. You can turn on both channels, as you see here, and then you would hit this button to go into the full screen measure. Now, here's the most important part. VibePro 7 could only collect velocity at one time and acceleration at one time. You had a button up here, we're in velocity now, you would click that button and then you would be in acceleration. As you can see, it broadened that F max for me. I'm going to zoom in so you can see the peak a little better. But I could only look at one or the other at a time. And if I wanted to go to the waveform, I'd have to go down here to the FFT button and get my waveform down here for channel 1 and channel 2. So that is one of the major differences. I'm going to jump right into 10, and we're going to go to that same single measurement button, and you'll see the screen is vastly different. One, we don't have a setup screen. All that stuff is down here on the bottom, and we're going to go step by step through what that is. But the unique thing here, and that's very important, is we are collecting live data versus what I explained in VibePro 7, where we're doing velocity at one time and acceleration at one time. Being that we're collecting the raw data of both channels here, you can see I can come down to this pause button, pause the live data, and as you see I'm in acceleration right now, I can go to my FFT settings button down here and switch that over to velocity. And once I'm out, that converted that to velocity. So once I have the raw data, I can view any one of these spectrum integrations, acceleration, velocity, or displacement, once the data is taken. I don't need to collect the velocity and collect an acceleration and collect the displacement in the single measurement mode, but I also don't have to do it in the route, and I'll explain that to you here in a minute. But let's go through the controls real quick. I showed you already, you've got a stop run button here. So we've got the shaker running, it's running in real time. The next button down is our signal configuration button. This is our Fmax, which brings us all the way out to 1 million CPM or 20K hertz. I'm at about half that now, and I can shrink the spectrum down, and you'll see if I shrink the spectrum down and increase my lines of resolution, you'll see we'll get vastly, it might run a little slower, but we get a vastly more dialed in visibility of our data. So we can get high resolution here. You notice the peak is much slimmer and tighter if you got two running speeds close to each other. It really is fantastic that we have this in there. But normally I run pretty much at 6,400 lines, which is a little bit better than 7, but about where we're running. And you can run in real time in live mode and see, if I tap on this, you'll see I just tapped on top of the shaker, and things that happen in real time I can see in real time. So now that we're past signal configuration, let's go into plot settings, which is just what the word implies. 1 to 2 channels. I'm running both right now simultaneously, or you can run one independently. You can choose their color, and then you can choose some different plot settings here. I'll show you just a couple. You can do the polar plot on the side, or you can come in and just do a large FFT or a large waveform. I preferably like to do this time waveform in FFT. That allows me to see velocity here on the bottom and my acceleration. And you see we've got the meters now on the side. We don't have to wait for the report like we did in 7. They run in real time live. And we can just tap on those meters. I'll tap on this one on the left, and there are my thresholds, and I can do it for fans, pumps, motors, custom, whatever I want, spindles. It's all in there. And then down here you've got your top frequencies. And now to do a report, you simply just hit the report button down here at the bottom, and it pulls up a nice report that you can either email, send the raw data up to the cloud, you can add a photo, you can add the map. There are a bunch of things that you can do. You can change your logo, all that. I'm not going to get into the bearing markers or the markers. There are some nice add-ons for the markers with a touch marker and a peak marker, but we'll leave that for another tutorial because we're really trying to see what the differences are between 7 and 10 that are going to make your transition very seamless. So let's go back to the main screen, and I'm going to put up both screens again. Well, let me switch VibePro to the main screen so we can look at the main screens together. So VibePro 7 on the top, VibePro 10 on the bottom. The next button is the same on both, but let's go to 7 first and go to the hierarchy measurements. You can see the major difference here is, we've got a plant area, we've got our machine, and then you look here on the right, we had to do a velocity reading for one, an acceleration reading for the same point, because we only remember doing one at a time. Now, when I go out of this and go to 10, you're going to notice in the hierarchy measurement mode here that when I go into that, I simply have a horizontal, a vertical, and an axial. And I could have many more points like we saw in that last one, but I don't have to take an acceleration and a velocity at each point because I'm collecting the raw data. That's the major difference and advantage with 10. So when I go into edit points and settings here, and I look at the screen in 10, it is pretty much exactly like 7. I'm not going to pull 7 up because it's more important that you learn this. The only real different field here is our ability to adjust our Fmax and our lines of resolution for each point. And that is right here. There's a nice assist button here that you can click on anything from a fan blower, and it will put those or put that Fmax and lines of resolution in for you, or what the suggestion would be. The other thing, as you know, we have 2 channels on our wireless accelerometer now. So when you're taking an axial reading, you can actually select channel 2, which was an option in 7 as well. So this is no different, but I wanted to point it out because it's important, because we don't have to have a velocity and an acceleration reading in like we did in 7. In 10, we just need to take one reading at that point, and then we can convert from velocity to an acceleration after the point in the viewer or in the web app. So that's a real nice feature. All the bearing model stuff is the same. Your danger thresholds are the same. Whether you're taking horizontal, vertical is the same, and the photos are the same. You can still pull from the photo library, go into a different photo here that's actually got a true picture of a spindle with the points here on the bottom. So all those features are identical from 7 to 10, other than what I showed you here at the top with your F-max and your lines of resolution. You do not have that in 7, and you must select that here in 10. So again, everything remaining the same. We go into the viewer here. That is exactly the same as well. You get your points, all your data points. You can still do an overall trend of that particular point by looking at that, same as in 7. Now, the other major difference is this advanced viewer that we have here now. So we did not have that in 7. So when I tap on that, you're going to immediately see whatever you had in the hierarchy is listed up here, and I can scroll through everything that I've got in my hierarchy. And what this enables me to do is I'm able to choose, say, 3, 4, or 5. I'm just going to select 3 readings here that I checked off, and it gives me all kinds of options here. I can pull that into a waterfall plot, which now pulls me into a nice waterfall. I can pull it up. I can compare, the data from each point. And I can go to the next one here in the spectrum, and I can overlap those spectrums, which is another nice feature, still having the pinch and zoom feature, but each reading I selected has a different color, and I can also do that in the waveform, which is also neat to be able to compare data sets between, one machine to another, or one date to another you can look at. And then you can go full screen with that. And of course, as everything is in VibePro, we have a nice report button that will put that into a PDF for you, put your logo in there, be able to email it out, and voila, you have your advanced viewer report. So that is a nice new feature. It is definitely new in 10. It was not existent in 7. It was in 8. So the people that were in 8 will enjoy that. The report manager is the same. And as I finish up this video, I do want to share that we did redo the manual. A lot of people call right away, but the manual with every button press is in this little help field here. You tap on that, and here is your VibePro user manual going through introduction, settings, single measurement, hierarchy measurement, viewer and trends, and what I just showed you, the advanced viewer. So again, those are the major differences between VibePro 10 and VibePro 7. Of course, we are available for you. You call us here at VibePro or visit us at www.vipro.com, and we can help you along with that. And we really want you to have a really nice, pleasurable time advancing to VibePro 10. We put a lot of work into this. I think you're all going to enjoy it, and it is simple. And again, go right to that help menu. Any questions you might have is going to be in there. And again, when you look at the front page, you'll recognize everything that was in 7 is mostly in the same place as you remember it. So again, I thank you very much for your time here at VibePro. We're here to help. Please look us up and like and subscribe to this video. We really appreciate your help there, and have a great day.